it didn't work. How frustrating. I hope I didn't screw that up by going live and ending it again. Oscar, are you there? I'm back. Hi, Oscar. Sorry about that. I was trying to go live through the live studio again because I have to do it twice within 14 days. And hi, Jason. The live studio says I can't go live because my laptop battery is low. It's not. It's full and it's charging. So TikTok Live Studio just basically doesn't want to let me go live through it. It's so annoying. I've just wasted 23 minutes of the live trying to sort that shit out. Anyway, here we are. Another beautiful day. I washed my hair this morning. It's looking so clean. So I hadn't washed my hair for about 3 months because 2 reasons. The first reason is you don't need to wash your hair. After a certain amount of time, the oils in your scalp wash your hair for you. My sister hasn't washed her hair for years, and it always looks fine. And the second reason is I don't like using cheap shampoo and conditioner, and I didn't have enough money to buy expensive shampoo and conditioner. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just not going to wash it. And then, so 3 months later, I can't lie, it was smelly. Like, I was washing it with water every couple of days, but it wasn't getting rid of the smell. And I thought if I just like stick it out, eventually it'll be fine. Like, my sister was like, don't worry, it will be fine. But my sister's in a cold country. I go to the gym a lot. I live in a hot country. It was not fine. Every time I put water on it, I smelled like a wet dog. As my husband so kindly pointed out. But honestly, I had to agree. So yesterday I went and bought I created this shit. Yesterday I was like, okay, so now that I've got this new job, I'm starting next week, I'm so excited. I'm going to go and treat myself and buy the expensive shampoo and conditioner. I thought it was going to be like 110, 120 reals, which is how much it was last time each, so like 220. And it was 370 reals. But they didn't show me the price. They showed me the back of the machine, and they know I'm English. So I was like, this is a bit dodge. And then I got my shampoo and conditioner this morning to wash my hair, and guess what? They had overcharged me by about 20 reals. So I guess I went in there kind of expecting them to do that. The last time I got my hair cut there, it cost 1,000 reals. So Jay said 1,000 reals to cut my hair was about $220-ish, which, like, this is Brazil, okay? $220 for a haircut in Brazil is extortionate. But the shampoo, like 370 divided by 5. Come on, math girl, what's that? It's like 70, right? Calculator. I can't do mental arithmetic. I have a degree in math and I still can't do shit in my head. $74. So $74 on shampoo and conditioner in Brazil. So bear in mind, if you get the cheap stuff, it's about 20 reals. So that's about $4, right? I paid 74. So they overcharged me. So I had expected them to overcharge me, and they did. Wouldn't you look at that? My husband is actually good friends with the owner of the salon, who I will be sending a message to and complaining about the fact I was overcharged, presumably because I'm English. But, you create your own reality, don't you? You expect something to happen, and look at that. It just does. Beyonce shampoo is like $64 here. There you go. So it was more expensive than Beyonce shampoo in Canada. Like, this is Brazil. Hi, Anthony. I have not seen you for a little while, Anthony. How are you? Why have you not been coming on my lives? Oh, yes, because you should be sleeping. Keratis, is that shampoo, the shampoo brand, or you mean the straightening treatment? Because I can't believe a shampoo is $400 in Brazil. Anyway, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to invest any more energy into it at this moment. I am going to send a message to the salon owner. The brand, yeah, I know it is a brand, but it's also a treatment that you can do. Your mate's wife. Anthony, interesting. My mate's wife, lol. Is there a story there? I like gossip. Give me some gossip. Flavio, hello, bom dia. It's still morning. Yeah, it's still morning. All that faffing around on TikTok Live Studio. It is still morning. Anyway, regardless of me ranting a little bit, I'm actually in a fabulous mood. Everything is going right for me. I'm further than halfway to my goal of making enough money to pay back my mortgage. My husband has gotten 2 new clients to write personal training programs for, online clients, which is great. So he's going to be contributing to that money. And I realised something last night, something really exciting. Off the back of my live yesterday, so Jason and Oscar, who were at my live yesterday, we were talking about manifestation and how we create our own reality and how our thoughts become our visions, become our words, and become our reality, right? And we were talking about this. And so then when I went to bed last night, so right before I go to sleep, I usually do a bit of visualization. I kind of, lean into my dream life, because right before you go to sleep is the best time to do that. Hi, Alexandra. Good morning. Bom dia. Tudo bem. And so I was visualizing my ideal reality, and I realised something. So obviously you guys know I'm building my Universal Retreat. That's what I want to do. I'm going to build the first one here in Caraíba, buy some land, build the retreat. But that's not the end goal for me. And I was talking yesterday about what the end goal for me is, about how I want retreats all over the world, about how I want my own TV show that helps people, right? How I want to build healing centers all over the world so that I can help as many people heal as possible, help as many people move past their limitations as possible through neurological reprogramming, right? And I want to be global. And I was thinking, whenever I visualize at night, all I ever visualize is the first healing center, the one in Caraíba, the one my intuition showed me. And if we create our own reality, which we do by choosing which of our thoughts we give energy to and turning those into visions, words, and putting them out into our reality, that I can also do this on a much bigger scale, because I don't want to just have one healing center. I want to have 100 in all different countries all over the globe. I don't want to just be a little bit wealthy. I want to create hundreds of millions of dollars. I want to create millionaires. I want to create wealth for myself and my family, and I want to help other people create wealth for themselves and their families too. And so I was laying there visualizing, creating this reality. I'm thinking too small. Why am I limiting myself in this way? Flavio, oh, you're off. Thank you so much for joining. Why am I limiting myself in this way? So I decided to dream a bit bigger and to actually visualize all of the healing centers. Apologies, there's somebody that's just being a little bit rude in the comments. I've just muted. So you might have just seen somebody disappear there. This person joined my live a little while ago and took offense when they asked who I was, and I responded with my name. Apparently that was rude, and she's actually been sending me messages demanding an apology. So I'm not open to having Oscar, the old lady. Yeah, the old lady. So I'm not really open to having that kind of energy in my coaching sessions. So I've just blocked her. It's up to her. It's up to you, Christina, if you would like to stay and listen and maybe learn something, but you can keep your comments to yourself. What made you want to become a mathematician? Did you love math in high school? Do you like math, Jason? I just realised that you often ask me about math stuff. Yes, I really liked math in school. I was always really good at it. I always loved numbers. I'm really good at, like, if I see a number, I can just remember it. Like, I don't have a photographic memory when it comes to anything else, but with numbers I kind of do. Like, I can just see a telephone number, like read it once, and then I can just remember it. And like math concepts I love, and more recently, so I studied math at university. I worked in finance for 15 years, and more recently, now that I'm discovering about sacred geometry and how mathematical equations kind of describe our universe and hold within them the key to the universe, like now I'm kind of really excited again about math, and now starting this new project, this new job next week where I will be doing statistical analysis. I'll be doing more math. I'm just like, yeah, like I'm back in. Oh, you love math. Okay, that's why. That makes sense then. Okay, Jason. Okay, so you asked a question the other day, which I'm sorry, I was talking, I skipped over it, but I did read it, about being a math teacher, right? It was when Veronica was on, so that's why I hadn't responded, because I was talking to Veronica, and I can't remember your exact question, but it was something about being a math teacher. So when I was at school, I really enjoyed math. I wanted to do something with numbers, and then I studied math at university as well. And then it came to getting a job, and I, like you, Jason, was like, okay, so I really like math. What can I do as a job? Math teacher. I was like, no, I don't want to be a teacher. And so I kind of went down the accounting route. I started out. Well, it wasn't really accounting. I started out as a recruitment consultant for accounting firms. But to me, it was like a toe in. Oh, that job was awful. I hated it. I did not last long there at all. But I didn't know what options were open to me as somebody that loved math. And so I did what people do, right? I did a live about this. I did what people do. I looked at the available jobs in my area. I looked at the experience they required, and I applied for the ones I thought I was qualified to do with a math degree, or, would be okay, which was recruitment consulting in the accounting industry. And that was not a good fit for me at all. It actually had nothing to do with numbers. And I left, but I think I remember, like, on the phone call when I was saying I'm not, because they wanted me to work between Christmas and New Year's, and I usually go see my family. My family lived 4 hours away. I was like, well, I'm not going to, like, go up there for Christmas and then drive back down 4 hours and then drive back again for New Year's. I want to stay. Like, I want the 3 days off in between. Like, I have holiday. And they were like, no, you've got to come to the office. And I was like, fuck that, no, I'm quitting then. And then my manager was like, okay, well, we were kind of going to ask you to leave anyway because you were not very good. What was it like? Oh, it was awful. It was awful, Jason. It was cold calling all day long, really long hours, lots of pressure as soon as the job comes in to get it filled. People have no accountability. People tell you they'll take the job and then they just don't go in. You're literally just all day long cold calling companies. It was not good at all. But the thing is, there's this whole industry I hadn't realised existed. Finance. Wall Street, Wall Street, right? Finance. It's all numbers. Now, I didn't know this. I thought if you like numbers, you've got to be a math teacher or an accountant, right? No. There's a like multi-billion dollar, one of the biggest industries in the world, I would imagine, finance. You get to play with money all day. You get to organise money. You get to move money around. You get to analyse money. It's all numbers. So if you like math, Jason, finance. I loved finance from a perspective of I enjoyed my job. It was a bit boring. I really only worked for about a week out of every month because we had to produce monthly reports. So the data would become available and then you had to send out the report a week later. And then for the other 3 weeks of the month, we basically did nothing. We just chatted. And so it wasn't very fulfilling. So I did it for 15 years, right? Because it was fun, because the pay was good, because I had good friends at work, because I was basically only working for a week out of every month. But it was boring, and it's not like I can do more with myself, it's not like allowing me to reach my full potential. And so there was an option for me to like go be a manager in finance, but I was like, no, like I want to give something else a try. I want to do something that makes me feel good. I don't want to just be like a cog in somebody else's machine. That career interested me. Yeah, like it's interesting, and it's a great place to start as well, because there are very many entry level jobs in finance, so that you can get a taste for it. And there's lots of different routes you can go. So like I love Excel. I love playing around in Excel spreadsheets, which is what I'm going to be doing in my new job. So like you can take yourself off down that route, or if you like enjoy computers, programming, you can kind of use your math, numbers, knowledge and take it down the computer programming route. Like whatever you're interested in, there's probably a route for you in finance. Something to think about. I didn't know it really existed. I never read the news. I didn't have any interest in, like, I wasn't living in London. So one of the things that made me leave finance is when you're in finance, you generally, to get a job in finance, you will need to live in the major capital city. Like in the US, probably every state has at least one capital city where you'll be able to get finance jobs. Obviously, New York is the best place to get a finance job, Wall Street. In the UK, it had to be London. Like I couldn't really do my finance job, anywhere other than London. And when I moved overseas, I went to Australia, I couldn't do my finance job anywhere other than Sydney or Melbourne. So I had to always live in the capital city. And at some point after 15 years, I was like, well, I don't always want to live in the capital city. Like I want to go live at the beach. I want to go live in the country. So that's one of the reasons that I left. But like I enjoyed it. I got good experience. I met cool people and the money's great. Like the money's really good. I love history. So I don't know much about history. So me, naive idiot that I am, I would be like, okay, I love history. What can I do? A history teacher or go work in a museum? But there's probably like a million different types of jobs you can do if you're interested in history, right? You just don't necessarily know what they are. It's really hard, especially because like you've got to figure this stuff out, preferably Oscar's age, right? Preferably before uni, you need to figure out kind of what job you want to go for. And this is why I always say, don't go study something at uni that you think will get you a job. Go study something that you enjoy, because studying, and I did in the end, I studied maths, which I enjoy. But if you study something that you don't enjoy, it's definitely going to lead to a job that you don't enjoy and may or may not lead to good wages. At the moment, possibly not. Maybe it's because they don't see a future. I remember not having dreams when I was super... What did you write before that? Oh, here. People who have depression usually don't dream. Why do you think so? Is that true, Oscar? I don't know that I believe that. Ooh, I had a bit of a thought last night, actually, about this. I'm going to make a video about it later. Truth. I just said, is that true, right? So for you, it's obviously true, Oscar. You've read it somewhere or seen a study or something that proves it's true, right? So you believe it to be true. Probably the people that did the study also believe it to be true. But just like Google, there will be another side. There will be people that believe it is not true. There will probably be studies that prove it is not true. And so what is the truth? And you know that saying, like, there's my side, your side, and the truth? Like, there's always three stories, my story, your story, and the truth. Well, what if there's, like, 20 people? So then there's, like, 21 stories, right? There's each person's story, each person's perception of what happened. Like if there's an incident, right, and the police go interviewing all the people that were there, everyone's going to give like a slightly different version of accounts depending on what they were thinking about at the time, what they were noticing at the time. And they're going to like create their own like version of the truth, right? And then there's going to be whatever was caught on camera. But which one is the truth? Like, maybe the camera sees a man like hitting someone with an umbrella, and so the truth is that the man hit someone with an umbrella, but the man is saying that the person hit them first. You just couldn't see it because it wasn't on the camera, and so it was defense. But the person who got hit is like, no, I didn't hit them first. Like, I put my elbow back and I accidentally knocked them. But you couldn't see it on camera. So their truth is they accidentally knocked someone, then they got whacked with an umbrella. They're a victim. The guy that whacked with the umbrella is like, somebody just out of the blue smashed me, and so I whacked him back. The camera's showing just the one. Like, what is the truth? It's just what we create, right? Like, it's just what we believe. The truth is only what we believe. There is really, to each person, there is no other truth. Like, that got me mind boggled a little bit for a while when I was in bed last night. Maybe it's because I don't see a future. I remember not having dreams when I was super depressed. Sydney is the capital of New South Wales, Oscar. The capital of Australia is Canberra, but nobody lives there. Nothing is based there. It's very like quiet, boring city that nobody really goes to. It's just the government there. So it's kind of like Brazil, Oscar. So you have like Rio, Sao Paulo, but they're not the capitals. The capital is Brasilia, but Brasilia, nobody really goes there. It's a little bit boring there. It's just the government there, right? And the USA, right? You got New York, you got LA. These are not the capitals. The capital is Washington, D.C., right? Washington, D.C. Nobody really goes there. It's a bit boring there. It's just the government there. I'm being very general. I know people go there, and I'm sure there is stuff that happens there that's boring. But when you think of the US, you want to go to LA or New York. You don't want to go to Washington, D.C. When you think of Brazil, you want to go to Rio or Sao Paulo. You don't want to go to Brasilia. The book on the table. The book is on the table. The book is on the table. I want to join into politics. Excellent. I hope you intend to make the world a better place. Is that why? I hope so. All my psychologists and psychiatrists told me so. Oh, that depressed people don't dream. I don't believe it, Oscar. I don't believe it. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I don't know what the truth is, but I don't believe it. I've done a lot of study into dreams because I'm determined to have a lucid dream and astral project. I've done a lot of study into dreams, and according to the studies I have read, everybody dreams. Everybody dreams. Doesn't matter if you think you do, if you remember your dreams or not, if you're depressed or not, everybody dreams. So, I don't believe that, Oscar. That's me. What's the truth? Who knows? They all bend the truth to suit their prerogative. Yeah, and maybe they're doing it consciously, or maybe they're doing it subconsciously, right? The guilty party is probably doing it consciously, bending the truth. And the innocent party is probably also bending the truth a little bit to seem more innocent. And the people watching, well, if they were doing something a little bit guilty at the time, they're going to bend the truth to cover up what they were doing. And, you know, if somebody was just innocently walking by, they're going to give their perspective, but maybe they didn't see all of what happened, right? So everybody's bending the truth to suit their prerogative, whether it's on purpose or not. And what is the truth? And then my follow-on thought from this, which is where I'm going to create the video about, is we have created a society that seeks to find the truth in order to blame one side or the other, right? So our society works on blame, on culpability. We all have judicial systems in which There is one party versus another party, and each party tries to prove their innocence or the other side's guilt, right? They're pitted against each other. They've got the lawyers fighting for each other, and there is blame. There's culpability, accountability. What's it? Menas Rias or something. I can't remember. I did study law for a little while, but I can't remember the word in Latin. Menas Res. Someone let me know if you know what the Latin is for, like whether people did a crime on purpose or not. Anyway, the whole system works on blame, right? I blame you, you blame me, we blame the judicial system, we blame the police, whatever, we blame the government, there's so much blame. The media is constantly talking about whose fault this is. It creates problems and then it blames somebody for them, right? Like the political race in the US, I'm not following it very closely, but I would imagine there's a lot of accusations and blame going on between Trump and whoever else is up against Trump. I don't know, I don't care. But they're all trying to blame each other, right? The right's trying to blame the left. The vegans are trying to blame the meat eaters. Everybody's blaming each other. Why? What is the point? Off the back of my first rant about there being so many different versions of truth that we can never really know what is the singular version of truth, because truth is only somebody else's perspective. Why are we always constantly blaming each other in order to get to the truth? What is the point in doing that? We are just wasting our energy. If I blame you and you blame me, then who's really to blame? Exactly. Who's really to blame? Do you know the person that's going to have the best life? The one that walks away from the argument and is just like, I don't give a fuck. Blame me if you want. Don't blame me if you don't want. I'm just going to live my life. I'm actually amazed that I managed to get to sleep last night with all of this stuff going on in my head. Why do we blame each other? Why have we built our whole societies around blame? As I ask this question, an answer pops into my mind, which would be around the ancient societies, right? The stonemasons, the masons, who control a lot of what goes on in their various secret organizations, their various derivative groups, right? The stonemasons are the ones that started everything. These were the beings, human beings, that had special abilities. The stonemasons are the ones with the special abilities. So back in the day, the psychics, the mediums, the people that had learned to control elements with their mind, magicians. What do we call them now? You know, all the mystical people, right? The people with special abilities, the people with a sixth sense, the magical people, right? So they were all gathered together and created this society, the Masons. And then over thousands and thousands of years, they have been split out into derivative groups, a lot of which do evil and some of which do good. But these are the powerful, these are the magical people, right? These are the people that have the secrets to how the world works. And they utilize those secrets in order to fear and control the population so that they can benefit, right? So it actually makes sense when you think about the fact that the world is actually controlled by these people who, I think the most famous families at the moment, the BlackRocks, the Vanguards, these are names that you hear, these are the ancient families that have been around since the beginning of time, since the beginning of human beings, that had these magical qualities. They want the world at war because it's easier for them to control people when everybody's attention is focused on blame. This completely pointless, fruitless task of blame. David, I don't know the word for blame in Portuguese. Oscar, help me out. Is it, I'm going to know it when you say it. Tell me. So they want us distracted. Yeah, blame. What's blame? Like, or fault, whose fault it is. They want us distracted. They want us at war. They want us fighting with each other. They want us, like, in action against the media, in action against these inadversities. They want us distracted and busy so that we don't notice that actually we could be controlling our realities. We could be creating a peaceful place to live. We could be using our own magical abilities if we had the secrets. Although apparently all the secrets are in the Gateway documents that the CIA produced, but nobody uses them. Culpa. Yes, culpa, that's it. David, culpa. Yeah. Give me your thoughts. What do you think on all this? I'm not really coaching today, am I? I'm ranting. I'm on a little conspiracy theory rant. I don't know if I can upload this to my Freemasons. Yes. So there's like the Masons, and then I believe even the Masons have like the stonemasons, the Freemasons. Did I just make up the stonemasons? Maybe I did. Maybe it was always the Freemasons. Yeah. Eu falo português, Israel, mas agora eu preciso terminar o live. Because I spent 25 minutes trying to get my ass on here, and I wasted half my live. And I completely blame TikTok Live Studio. It is, of course, all my fault and not TikTok's. I thought the stonemason was somebody who built with stone in the olden days. It could be Jason. I may be using stonemason when I should be using Freemason. I do that sometimes. But yeah, so to round up, we all create our own realities. We get to decide what the truth is. We get to decide what we believe, and we get to decide if we're going to distract ourselves by blaming other people for shit that happens, or if we're going to take responsibility for what we've created in our experience and use that knowledge from having created that experience to go in the right direction. I did a post on my Instagram this morning on Universal about how everybody creates their own reality. Oh my God, a fly just landed on my laptop. It was so slow, I just knocked him over with my finger. Did you see that? Oh no, you can't see. You can only see there. Yeah, create your own reality. You can create your own reality. You can choose what to believe. You can choose where you put your energy. You can choose your mood. You can choose if you are happy or sad. You can choose if you are sick or healthy. Oh, that's what I was saying. I did an Instagram post I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash from, because I wrote on there that people choose their reality, including whether they get sick or not. Ooh. And the reason I said that is because most of the time people get sick because they don't look after themselves. They don't eat the right food. They don't exercise. They don't look after their mental health. They get sick. And then they're like, oh, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was my circumstances. No, it wasn't. It was you. Like, take COVID, for example. Am I going to get age restricted for saying that? Take COVID, for example. I did not get COVID. I don't want to say, like, I didn't believe in COVID. Like, people around me were getting sick. I believe in COVID. But I wasn't, like, putting my energy into it. I wasn't investing my energy into it. Like, some people were getting really depressed about it. Some people were really fearful of getting it. Some people already had bad immune systems because they hadn't been looking after themselves, right? And of course, we know the people that were most susceptible to COVID it's still around, are the people with like existing illnesses, existing respiratory illnesses, right? Which came from something in their past. I don't know what. I'm not a doctor. But certain people were more at risk of COVID than others. And so that's why they got it. And they were already sick because they hadn't looked after their body. So I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash from writing that. But like, you'll have to see, at least to an extent, that it is true. If you lose your job, it's probably because you weren't very good at your job, because you didn't like it, and so you didn't put in lots of effort. If you lose a relationship, it's probably because the relationship wasn't right for you, whether you can see that now or not. But how many bad things have happened to you in the past where you've been able to look back and be like, oh yeah, like that was awful at the time, but it made me so much stronger. Like, I don't want to upset you, Oscar, but I'm going to use the example of your cat, right? Your cat passed away several months ago now, and you were really devastated. And you also want to leave the country. And so even though it was an awful thing that happened and you had to go through the pain of dealing with that, at least now you can leave the country, because before you would have had a tough decision about the cat when leaving the country, right? Like, you would have had to leave the cat or face taking the cat and having to put the cat into quarantine for 2 months, which I think you have to do to get it to England, and definitely have to do if you want to get them to Australia. So every bad thing that happens is there to teach you, like to allow you the opportunity to learn something, to improve yourself, to expand and grow off the back of the lesson from the bad thing. And so we do create our experiences. We do create those bad things in order to be better. Let me try and think of something awful, something awful that happened to me that worked out for the best. That seemed really awful at the time. I mean, probably breakups for me. So like my last breakup was very difficult to go through at the time, but it was a really toxic relationship, right? Really toxic. We were not good for each other at all. But I wouldn't have left if I hadn't been, like, if I hadn't made it so uncomfortable for myself that I had to leave, right? Like, it was so toxic that at some point I had to leave. I had to be like, I can't stay in this anymore. It's bad for my health. And that was the best thing that ever happened to me, because then I was able to meet my husband and have my kids and move to Brazil and like just create this amazing life for myself. Whereas before I was crying every day, you know? So every cloud has a silver lining. That's the saying, right? Every cloud has a silver lining, and it does. And you created the cloud. You created the cloud to show yourself the silver lining. How to leave this type of relationship when you have a child together. He owes me 5k. Right, money, forget about it. Don't worry about it. You may get that back, you may not. Don't waste the rest of your life on 5k. That's probably gonna be something you're gonna have to get over. My ex owes me money too. I'm over it. Money is way more important than your sanity, than your mental health, than your child's health. Okay, right. How to leave this type of relationship when you have a child together. Thankfully I didn't. However, if the relationship is toxic to you, okay, if it's damaging your mental health, if you're crying every day, then you just need to leave, right? You need to leave. You might be limiting yourself with your child, right? I can't leave because of the kid. I don't want to take the kid away from their father, or you know, whatever it may be. It's not about like staying together for the good of the kid. That's not for the good of the kid. You being the best version of you, being the best. I read this statistic the other day. It may be true, it may not be true, but the statistic was that children, that wasn't a statistic actually, it was just a fact, children get their mental health from the mental health of their mother, right? So if I have great mental health and my husband is falling apart, chances are my kids will still be able to have great mental health because they get it from their mother. So Bess, my advice to you is to look after your mental health as a priority in ensuring your kids' mental health, right? The best thing you can do for your kids is to be the best version of you, is to be the most unlimited version of you, and is to be the most mentally healthy version of you, whether that is in or out of your relationship. It is damaging my mental health to the point I don't have energy for anything else. Yeah. It may seem hard, Bess. Like, it may seem like you have a life together, you have so much stuff together, you have your routine together. It doesn't mean you can't leave. You can. There is a way. There is a way. You need to look after your mental health for your kid and for yourself. You are no good to anybody with not having energy for anything else, right? Like, how are you looking after your kid with no energy to do that? And what is your kid growing up around? You know, that tension. That kids can sense energy a lot better than adults can. When me and my husband are arguing, my kids are so naughty. They act up so much. But when me and my husband are good, my kids are good as gold, right? They're happy. They go play by themselves quietly. That never happens when we're arguing. When we're arguing, they're like, mama, 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 the whole time. Kids can sense energy. You're Brazilian living in the UK. Fun. Where in the UK are you? I said I was going to end this live like 15 minutes ago and I'm still here chatting. Where in the UK are you? Okay, so Bess, I am aware that is also another consideration. Derbyshire, I'm from Yorkshire. I went to university in Derbyshire. I went to university in Loughborough. So I'm aware that is also a huge consideration, right? When you're trying to break up with somebody, I don't know if your partner's from the UK, if your partner's from Brazil, but being in a foreign country with kids and breaking up a relationship is like a whole new ball game, because then where do the kids go? Like, how do you keep it? Like, how do you co-parent if the parents are in different countries, right? Everything becomes a million times harder. Loughborough was the first place I lived when I moved here. That's super fun. I don't know why. Have you been on before, Bess? I feel like I've spoken to another Brazilian that went to live in Loughborough. Have you told me that before? Or is there another one? I'm usually really good with names, and Bess is not ringing a bell, but maybe I just forgot. So yeah. Like, my advice, Bess... No, I haven't. Okay. So there is another Brazilian that moved to Loughborough and now lives somewhere else around that area. I can't remember where. But that's really funny, because I don't remember ever seeing any Brazilians in Loughborough when I was there. But I wasn't aware of Brazilians when I was in Loughborough. It's all about your awareness. Yeah, look after your mental health first, Bess. So first things is leaving the only way? Is that really what you want? Like, be sure on that first. Connect with your intuition. Ask your intuition. If you don't know how to do that, go look in my feed. Go to my Universal channel. I have a playlist called Intuition. Or go to my community via the link in the bio where all my coaching content is. Figure out how to get in touch and how to communicate with your intuition, and just make sure that leaving is what you want deep down. Okay, that's the most important thing, because if you don't, then these are two very different tracks, right? If you want to leave. If you feel like you have to leave because you're in a bad situation but you don't really want to, then there are things you can do to improve the situation that you could try first before leaving, right? Jason, what's Universal? That's my project, right? That's my retreats. So I have an Instagram channel, Universal. I have a TikTok channel, Universal. That's where all my coaching content is. My community, my online community is Universal. That's the name that I came up with for my teachings, right? My healing center. And I got it from university and festival, which are two of my favorite places. Universal. Okay, I really do have to go. I've been wittering on for too long now. So guys, please go join my community. Universal. All of my coaching content is there. You can reach out to me directly there. I love to hear from you. I love getting to know you. So talk to me there. Reach out to me there. I don't check my TikTok messages that often. And also you can't message me if I'm not following you. So go join the community. You can message me there. If you have any questions, if you want to book one-on-one coaching with me, I do one-off coaching sessions, or I do 3-month coaching packages. I already have 2 clients, and I have a third that I think is about to sign up. I'm only able to do 5 because I'm starting my new job next week, part-time job. So if you do want one-on-one coaching with me, it's better to DM me about that sooner rather than later, because once I get to 5 clients, I'm not going to have time to take on any more. I'm in Brazil. So all of that can be done through the community. You can also find my book there, Universal, the guide. I wrote a book, guys. It's got all of this stuff in, all of the stuff that I talk about, all of the exercises that I use to help you guys, the 3-step problem solver, my BS buster, which I haven't done with anybody for ages actually. So maybe tomorrow we'll do a BS buster with somebody. And it's all free. And it's not just me. There's other coaches in there that also post content that is aligned with the same stuff I teach, because there's a lot of us. There's a lot of us trying to help people with this knowledge. It's not just me. So this community is a place for all of us to come together and teach and learn and improve our lives, right? Okay, I think that's all. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you. I'm so sorry I was late because of my fault, because I couldn't figure out TikTok Studio in time. I will do that. Bess, if you're interested, I'm going to be hosting a group coaching session this weekend, free. There's only going to be 3 spots available. So Oscar is already taken one of them. There's another girl, Isabel, that has already entered. So in order to enter for a spot on the group coaching session, you need to join my community and create an introduction post on the introduce yourself section of the community. So tap the link in my bio, sign up through Facebook so you don't have to put your details in, go to the introduce yourself section, write an introduction post. Then you might be able to join us for the group coaching call this weekend with Oscar and Isabel. And then I can really get down and dirty with your issues and help you as best I can. Okay, I've got to go. I'm really late now. Love you guys. Thank you. Goodbye.